Hey, I know I haven't been on for a while. It's been a busy life. Anyways, so I wanted to jump on here just to tell you guys all hi, first of all. And, I've been doing a lot of classes lately. So I do a class every Tuesday night, well, actually two on Tuesdays. And then I've got a new class I just started this past Wednesday that has to do with paranormal and stuff. So that's a very interesting class, which most of you know I've gone on investigations before. And so I'm really digging in depth with this paranormal stuff so I can learn, some things that I probably don't know. But tomorrow I leave for an investigation in Kentucky with some friends. And the place we're going is called Bob Mackey's. I don't know much about Bob Mackey's. I just know that in the past my friends have tried to get me to go to this place and I would get nauseous just thinking about it for some reason. And I still don't know. Every time like my friend would send me information about let's go to Bob Mackey's, I would always say, no, 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 I can't go there. And the reason is I always feel nauseous, like something just didn't sit right. So finally, after, I really got my gift down pat for the most part and I feel comfortable, I said, hell yes, let's go to Bob Mackey's and see what this is all about. So I told him not to tell me anything about Bob Mackey's because I want to go in with an open mind and not have this Hollywood drama bullshit in my head like The Grudge or It or whatever. So, because when you're in a scary house or a haunted house, even if it's for fake for Halloween, you always have that who's coming out of the closet with a knife at me kind of scenario in your head. It's the same thing when I do mediumship or investigations. I will get that stupid Hollywood drama shit of scary movies running through my head, and then I start freaking myself out. So that's called your ego that steps in and is like, hey, remember this scary movie? Remember that scary movie behind the shower curtain? What stuff. So I tell them, do not tell me any information about this place. I do not want to know. I just want to go with my gut feeling and what I feel because I don't want to scare myself, and I will scare myself if I think about it. What was weird was about a week ago, I think it was, I started seeing this woman with this high-necked collar, and her hair was pinned back in like bobby pins or barrettes or something. It looked like she had little bobby pins in her hair, and I could tell it was an old, seemed pretty old because of the clothes. So I was telling my friend about it. I was messaging her and say, I try not to think about this Bob Mackey place or try to look up anything about it because I don't want to scare myself shitless before I even get there and have stuff in my head. So I told her about this woman I was seeing, and she sent me a picture of this lady that had that like weird collar on, and it looked like she had something in her hair, and I'm like, oh my God, I think that's her. And the weird thing I got was when I seen this woman, when I seen that picture, instantly I like felt like my intestines were ripped out of my stomach, and I kept hearing this word disemboweled, I think was the word. And so I remember looking at asking my friend, what's this mean? Because when I seen the intestines being pulled out, it was pulled out like a dang rope. I kept seeing the intestines coming out. That's what I kept seeing. So I kind of freaked myself out, like, oh great, what am I getting myself into? So I had my friend, I told her, I said, okay, this is what I'm getting when I see this picture is like my intestines being ripped out like a rope, pulling out of my stomach like a rope. And I keep hearing this word disembowelment, disemboweled. Yeah, something like that. Anyways, disemboweled. So I asked my friend and she said, yes, what you're feeling, yes. So she's already looked at probably the information for Bob Mackey's, I guess. So that's what I was feeling. So then I had to be like, oh shit, what am I getting myself into? And then she sent me this little clip in that the headlines. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Zach Bagan or whatever. He's some ghost investigator guy, and he likes the creepy stuff. Well, I don't like the creepy stuff, but he likes it. And I've seen a couple of his shows. I can't remember if it's paranormal or whatever. But anyways, he likes to collect oddities too, so that's crazy. But anyways, so I just seen the headlines that says why he will not return to Bob Mackey's or something like that. And I thought, I am not watching that, because if he's scared to return to Bob Mackey's, I am not putting that shit in my head why he's scared. So that's where that's why I don't research the places. I want to go with who's talking to me when I get there, what I'm feeling, and yes, I can feel negative energy, but it usually stays far away from me. I usually don't have no issues with that. I'm assuming it's because of who surrounds me and protects me, like my grandparents and my guides, which is another story that's so messed up. So a long time ago, before we did our first major investigation, which would have been in Thomas House Hotel in Red Boiling Springs, Tennessee, it was me and two other people. That week prior to that, I kept having this dream about this guy named Josiah. I really couldn't figure out who this Josiah guy was. It was bugging me, and I dreamt about him. But the weird thing was, as I was driving to Muncie to go get my rental car, to go to Tennessee, my daughter's with me. All of a sudden, my daughter just starts talking about some guy named Josiah that she knew her friend was dating. And I thought, oh, that's weird. I've never even heard this name Josiah. But in my dream, there was a Josiah. She's talking about a Josiah. And not even like 5-10 minutes later, the radio station starts talking about somebody named Josiah on the radio station. This is all happening while I'm driving to get my rental car. And I'm like, okay, this name Josiah is really sticking out with me. There must be something related to Thomas House Hotel and Josiah. So as we get down to the investigation, finally, down in Tennessee, the night before, me and my two friends went for a walk at a nature wilderness thing. And I said, guys, I think I need to tell you this. And I started talking about this guy named Josiah and how I was dreaming about him. And then the things with my daughter saying his name and then the radio saying his name all within like 10, 15 minutes apart. It's crazy. And I said, so I think there's something related to Josiah at Thomas House Hotel. So the next night was our investigation. We go there, we're looking around, and I'm still feeling this Josiah thing. Okay, I'm feeling like this guy, I don't know if he's there or if it's my own spirit guide that's trying to come forth to protect me during an investigation. I did not know what this Josiah person was. So we were kind of running behind because we snuck outside for a break, and then we met everybody in the cigar room or the seance room, so they say. And we were standing there in the dark, and she's talking, and she's like, but I need to tell you a story. And the story I need to tell you is about a man who was murdered here. He was having an affair with a married woman here at the hotel, and her husband found out, came to the hotel, and they were upstairs on the upstairs balcony and shot him, and he did not die from the gunshot. So the husband pushed this man over the balcony, and he hit the ground and died. His name was Josiah. So them kind of things is kind of what started me like, okay, there's something about me that is different, which I've known all my whole life about this gift. It's come in spurts, different times in my life. But then that's when I realized, okay, I am thinking I'm connecting to dead people or spirit guides, or I'm connecting to something because that just can't happen. I mean, how many times have you ever heard the name Josiah? I had never heard it until my dream. But anyways, I remember it was kind of dark, but there was some light in there in that room. I just remember my friend walks over to me and grabs me by the arm like, you just told us about this. You just told us about this last night. So it shocked the shit out of her too, probably because I said the name and then they said the name. So that's kind of what got me on this path of I need to figure this out. Something more is happening with me and I need to figure it out, right? So me and my friend went to Cleveland a while back to do an investigation. And like a day or two prior to that, I think it was a day or two prior, Josiah popped up again. The name, Josiah, just out of the clear blue effing sky. Haven't heard the name for months, and all of a sudden it pops up. I noticed that almost every time before I do some kind of investigation like this, that name Josiah pops up somewhere in my life somehow, some way, some shape, whether it's me on the TV watching the news, which I don't really watch the news, but I'm watching glimpses of it, and all of a sudden they're interviewing some guy named Josiah. I mean, this is the kind of weird stuff it is. Or I'll be driving down the road and they'll be like, caller number 9, what's your name? Josiah. It'll be always like that week before the investigation. Well, today, I leave tomorrow for this investigation. Today I get home from work and I thought, well, I better check my phone, see if anybody's messaged me. I hit the Facebook button and the first thing that pops on is an unidentified body. And it's showing the tattoos on the arms, and in big giant letters, it says, Josiah. I leave tomorrow. So I am thinking Josiah is a high spirit guide that must be like my protector or my bouncer kind of like guy. Because he has popped up before every time I'm going to do this kind of investigation that week. I hear that name or I see that name or it's on something. It's bizarre. I know people out there are probably saying, Charity, you're freaking lost your marbles, girl. But let me tell you, I know I have it. This is not coincidence any longer. Once, maybe twice, maybe. No, not every darn time. Every darn time I'm getting ready to do an investigation, Josiah pops up. So I put a little message out there to my group. The classes I'm in, there's a community of us from all over the world. We get together on Tuesdays and we do some lessons with our mentor, Lisa Williams. And then she puts us in breakout rooms, right? So I decided we have this little community that we can get on there and ask each other questions. I jumped on there. I said, I just got a weird question. Does anybody else have like a spirit guide or someone named Josiah that comes to them often? Because I am feeling like this must be a protector of mine, that he pops up every time before I go do an investigation. So someone messaged me and said, did you know that Lisa Williams has a higher spirit guide and his name is Josiah? I was like, okay. Then another girl, I just checked it right before I got on here. Another girl messaged me and said, I have a Josiah also. And he is my protector. He's like the gatekeeper is what they call it. And she says, which means he's like a bouncer. So if you have been picking up Josiah all these times before an investigation, that means that higher spirit guide, Josiah, is letting you know he is your protector. He is the person who is like your bouncer to keep anything bad away from you. And I suggest that when you go into your place, when you go to investigate Sunday night or whatever, you talk to him and tell him, hey, be my bouncer, protect me while I'm in here, keep the negative stuff away from me, blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to try that because I really feel this just connection to this Josiah person. And there's a reason why it keeps coming up in my life before an investigation. There's no damn coincidence. I've probably been on, I don't even know, maybe 8 investigations, and they've all been like within the last 3 years or whatever. So there's no way that all 8 times or 6 times or whatever, however many I've gone, that it pops up the week before or the day before or that week right before I go on my trips to do this. But also, while I'm in this paranormal class with Lisa Williams, we're going to be doing like investigations online, I think, together or something. But I'm going to try to record some of our stuff, maybe that we get from our adventure to Bob Mackey's on Sunday night. I can't say how many people are going to be there. They usually try to keep it under 15, 20 at the most, which we're allowed to separate and go our own groups, our own ways. But so I'm going to try to get some good footage or some good pictures or some good recordings. Hopefully I can share them on here, which is hard for me to figure out how the hell to do that. I think I need to do that for my laptop. So we're going to do that, and I'm going to share it with my community group too, so they can hear and see the things that I see. Hopefully I can catch it, because some of that stuff happens so fast that you don't have time to take a picture. You don't have time to catch things fast enough so you can play it for other people. Excuse me. But I do know that if you ever decide to go take pictures yourselves, make sure you take a group of 3. Do not move. Be like, chick, 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 without moving. And that's how you can look at all 3 pictures and compare them. So then you'll see the difference in there. I think I've told you guys this before, but I'm just refreshing your minds in case you're ever interested. Another good thing is there's a couple good apps that you can put on your cell phone to talk to spirit guides. One's called Dead Wave, and the other one's called Hope. Now, the ratings are kind of mixed, but I have used Dead Wave before, and I've gotten a lot from that. I've not tried the Hope one yet. I'm getting ready to download it on my phone so I can try to use it Sunday night to see. But the Dead Wave so far has been one of my favorite ones because it scans stations, and then you can hear, you can ask questions, and they will answer, and you can hear it through that. And then Dead Wave is also used by the Tennessee Wraith Chasers, which I'm sure some of you might have heard of them. They're pretty famous in Tennessee for doing investigations all over the United States or whatever. But I think that's who I've done the Thomas House Hotel with, and I think the Wraith Chasers might have been somewhere else I was. But anyways, so them are 2 good apps to try to use on your phone. And it takes a minute to get used to using those apps because it's just like me doing my mediumship. Like I've got to ask for, like, you want to do some kind of affirmation or intention, set an intention. So before you even like really go push play or whatever on your app, just kind of sit there for a minute, take a couple deep breaths and say, I come in peace. I mean no harm. I just want to share your story with the world. So if you have any information you can give me, I'll be glad to share it with whoever wants to listen. That kind of stuff. That way they know you're coming peacefully. You're not there to hurt them or make them leave or whatever. Also, you don't ever want to provoke a spirit in a place that might be haunted, because you got to remember, at one point in time they were us. They were human. So provoking them and calling them names, trying to piss them off, is the wrong thing to do. You think that when you're in heaven you don't have feelings, but obviously you must have some. You do have feelings because you have love, but not like our emotional feelings, like what we would see. So you don't want to provoke anything or be mean to any spirit that's out there. You just want to be like it'd be meeting a new person. Hi, my name's Charity. I'm just here to get some answers to questions. I mean no harm. That's the kind of intentions you need to set. So if you ever get to go on your own ghost hunt, make sure that you have some compassion and couth about it, because so many times I have witnessed myself people going into places like this and being like, if you're so big and bad, scratch me or come at me, and that's not how you do it. These people once lived here on this earth, so treat them like people, have some dignity, for God's sakes. They walked before us on this earth. So that's just my little spiel for Friday night. It's Fireball Friday at the bar, guys, if you are thirsty. Anyways, I'm going to get off here because I got to go pack my sage and all my good stuff that I take with me on investigations. And I only do that it's like a cleansing mechanism for when you come out, so you don't drag anything home. Plus, it kind of clears your mind and makes you feel a little bit at peace when you leave, after being somewhere that might kind of freak you out a little bit. So I'm going to go gather all that together and start packing my stuff. But I might go live while I'm in this Bob Mackey's so you guys can watch it. And even if you don't, you can always rewatch it at a later date. All right. Believe, believe, believe. Always believe in yourself. And I would just like to put this out there. A prayer for Gabby Petito's family again, if you could, so they catch Brian Laundrie so he can be brought to justice. And so we can find out, her family gets some kind of closure. I also want to say, keep a family in your prayers tonight. I don't want to say his name on here, but I was at his viewing tonight, and it's just sad. He was my neighbor, and he was a good guy, and he was an honorary guy, and he used to make me laugh a lot. And he's going to be very much missed by our whole neighborhood and by the bar and by the Legion and all those places. So, Phil, if you're listening, I already miss you, buddy. All right, guys, have a good night. Believe, 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 and always believe in yourself.